Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully this thing's working. Let me just check. It's been a while. Welcome back, everyone. For some reason we got the rave playing at full volume my end. It is Sunday the 27th of July, 9 o'clock. We're sitting here. We're back. Episode 201, Scuffed Epoch. I'm Cliff Johnson. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, 5 Facts About. Yo, yo, yo. Hello, MZ. Oi! And 5 Facts About. You've just trained your own data set. That's awesome. Glad. That's good to hear. I've shared the results in the Discord. If you're watching live or if you're watching later, don't forget there is a Discord. The link should be in the description. Alright, with all that being said, hopefully I won't be too far away from the mic. It's moved. Hopefully it doesn't fall off or anything. Okay. So yeah, welcome back everyone. I've been away for the last week, messing around with all these new tools and all these. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Trying to put together some new tutorials for the main channel just to cover, because the thing is, right, we've covered so much on this show in the last 6 months that a lot of it has just kind of been buried. But I'm not super high energy for the whole show tonight. We're just trying to plow through the intro so we can get onto the good stuff. Many models have been trained, many books have been written. Albums may have even come out. Let me check. Let me just check here real quick. Spotify. Did my new album came out? Don't know. Couldn't find that album. That's not a good sign. Artist, yes. So didn't come out yet, or what? Didn't come out yet. Okay. All right. Maybe. Wait, does that mean it's coming out tomorrow? Okay. Yo, Mr. Sheesh, is Yu-Gi-Oh cards a weapon? I don't know. I reckon maybe we'll find out. Wait, what just happened? Oh. The cat fell asleep when I was mid-stream. Let me see if I can wake it up. Literally, I don't know how long ago that happened. I was talking to you guys. Yeah, it's dead. I thought I just changed the screen or something. No, the cat keeps on failing. Restart it. Typical screen capture problems, guys. We're in the black void. You can't see what's going on. Hot plug the thing again. Ugh. I gotta go down under the table. 2 seconds, everybody. Nope. Everything started so well. Okay, guys, I don't know what screen it's looking at right now. That's not my desktop. Well, it is my desktop, but it's like foobar. Blows my mind when technology stops working. Oh, we're back. Alright, okay, just got to kick it a few times. Hey, alright, let me get back in my seat here. So after messing around with cables and whatnot, Hello, Jamzed. Did you hear WAN 2.2 is being previewed tomorrow? Oh, that sounds like good fun. I hope that it's a step forward. We're starting to do a little bit of research into image generation with WAN, which is something interesting to look at. I have a speculative theory that in the future we'll only need a video model because, you know, just get a frame from it. Who knows, maybe that time's upon us. Yo, Dragon, welcome to the show. Glad you could join. So anyway, I just recently retrained my Reynolds style and a couple of other things for, where is it? Hugging face. Me? So you can't even see me. I just want to see me. I just want to show it right. New stuff. I've started putting up data sets as well now, so you can have fun training my data sets. It's you know, I'll try my best to put if I'm in the middle of working on it, there might not be a readme yet, but I do my best to try and put readmes up. Just to give you an example, if I go into Reynolds oil style, which you previously know because I released it on Flux, this is SD35L. But if you go to the files and versions, you can see there is a no caption version. There is a caption version for video, if you're training images for video. And there is also a caption version for prefix style and contextual style captions. So that's all of those. I use them a lot for testing and evaluation. So like I say, that's my thing. So I'll be adding additional resources to here. So we've got some LoRa's, we've got some data sets, and it's a start. So yeah, starting to do more stuff over here. But like I said, I've only used it for like a week, so we'll see. Yeah, let's get back to that in a second. So what we're going to take a look at mostly tonight is going to be writing stuff. However, we're not doing that first, we're doing comfy first. The writing stuff is interesting because I've done 4 books and a technical book in the last week. So while I've been away, I've been busy crystallizing things. I've come up with my own narrative structure system. Don't know if it's going to work yet. We'll see. I probably will work, but we'll see. It's a little bit experimental. Maybe we'll have a little bit of fun with that. I don't know. You need a narrative bucket for it, really. So I'll have to get set up here. But anyway, glad you could join. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Comfy first. So, as you can see here, I've got a SD 3.5 GGUF, and I'm going to be doing a Venus Col. That's not right. We're going to be doing the Space Marine I trained. So I took a few pictures of one of my painted Space Marines. It's come out okay. It's not bad. I'm still working on it. It's only a 0, so as you know. Is it a 0 though? I thought it was a... Oh, it is only a 0. Okay. Let's just apply that LoRa to all of them because I got an idea. I'm looking for paste. I'm looking for paste. Paste. Right, so this is a weird workflow, alright? It's going to do some weird stuff. Well, that's the idea anyway. We're going to build it together. The idea is to automate a little thing, right? So it's going to use this guy. So let's see if we can, and we're going to be actually making the filler between 2 videos. So that's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes, right? So you'll see what we're doing in a minute. But we've got the LoRa loaded in. Now where's the prompt? Okay, so the prompt is loaded from the prompt list. So probably could do with a preview of that. Can I get a text box? Can I go into it? Yeah, you can, but it won't show it. Okay. Showing. Okay. Right, so that's going to show us what the actual active prompt is. Can I change the size of this though? Nope. Okay. We're going to be using SD35 large Q8. We're going to be using the T5V 1.1 XXL encoder in Q8. It's all juff. Change this to flow. So I've got everything plugged in. At the moment, it's going to make the same thing for every single one. So what I want to do is change it so I've got a seed for each guy, right? So let's just add that. No, not steps. Seed. Weird. Make it like a million steps. Audio's mental right now. Okay. So let's see then. So let's take a look at what each of these sections does, because there's obviously 4 of them. First one is going to make an image. Image is going to then get contexted, and then we're going to make them into a batch, 1 to the 2. And then we're going to do rife to interpolate the 2 images with 8 frames in between. And then we're going to get a little video clip. Right? Should I put a ping pong on it? I could, but I'm going to do something else maybe. So let's see. Let's hold back on that for now. But yeah, you could just put a ping pong. Okay. So then what are we going to do? What are we going to make it? What are we going to change it? How is it going to change? So maybe I'll say I want to do 4 different things. So I could say place the subject into a jungle scene. Oops. I'm going to try and keep it simple. Jungle into a jungle scene. And then I probably could have said character or person. Use the person. Well, I'll just say subject in each one. Keep it simple, right? Use the subject to create a dynamic scene. Let's see about that. A dynamic. Right. I suppose we could do like night for day in one of them. Use the subject and place. Oh wait, place the subject. Place the subject in. I've forgotten what I was going to do now. Use the subject. Place the subject inside a dynamic. A dynamic scene. I don't even know what that means. It's good. It's good stuff. Place the subject into a jungle. Okay. And then what? There's one more. You get one more. Place. Outside. Place the subject on top of a mountain. Side. Sure. Alright, so we've got 2 environment changes and then 2 sort of weird changes. Right. The idea is, if I just make sure, because at the moment they're all the same number. Okay. Alright, well anyway, I think I changed them. Cool. So we've got prompts, that'll make the 2 things, da-da-da, let's go. La-di-da-di-da. So then we're going to end up with 4 videos. 8, 16, 32, that's 1 second. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what it does anyway. How is it loaded? I only just sat down. It must have still been hot for like the last 24 hours. That's funny. I've been working mostly on my laptop today, so I'm surprised that's hot. But hey, good for us. Hello, Jacob. Welcome to the show. So here we have my... it looks okay until you really look at it, but I'm happy with this considering, like... Oh! Uh-oh. 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 What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? It got funny about saving the image and passing it on. It's not great. We kind of do need to save it. Well, what did we get? So we got that. That's weird. What are we looking at here? Wait a minute. Why is it saving the file name? Something strange is happening with the file name. Okay. The file name is incorrect. So that tells me that something here is wrong, maybe? It looks like it's putting the prompt into the... I'm piping the prompt into the file name because I am a genius. Okay, right, so let me just fix that. Dull. Yeah, that's my bad. I've hooked up lots of stuff to the wrong thing. I do. It's alright, I'll just put that straight. It's funny. Wait, why is the prompt being piped into the file? Oh. I hooked it up to the wrong reroute. My bad. Let's see, one more. Oh. Check it. Yes. Yep. Okay, let's try it again. That was going well until something broke, but we fixed it. It's only 32 steps, chaps. I'm thinking I might have to write up the way we did this latest project as well, because I just rewrote Romeo and Juliet for my next project. And I think it's well, I got tapped out on the Claude because, you know, we maxed it, but it's basically done, guys. Oh, image make, it doesn't like doing that either. You son of a... It doesn't like making the batch. Size of tensors must match. So what? Has the image size changed? No. I love it when it does this. Expected 3 but got 4. So that tells me that this image is coming back with a transparency layer. Let's try remove alpha and see if it helps. Remove alpha. So we'll do this, just plug that in and see if it gets us past it. I think it's got too many channels. Let's find out if I'm right. I might be wrong. But if it says tensors must match except I mentioned 0, expected 3 but got 4, sometimes it's that. Maybe I just need to update my impact pack. We'll see. Or I'll do it in a different way, I guess. I just want a cheap way of putting 2 images into a batch, so... How's it going to go this time? So it generated that image, floating gun. It's kind of cool. that. Aha, it worked. Oh my god. Oh my god. Maybe we need to interpolate for more than 8 frames. So the others are going to fail because we need to do the same change. Alright. We got the 10-minute track playing. Isn't that cool? This is some crazy right here. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, of course it's gonna break. So I wonder, can we go for 16 frames? Because there's only 2 frames. I actually want to cook it, so let's see if we can have 32. No, let's just go 30 frames. Oh my god. I've not tried doing it that high before. It should be a mess. But that's okay. I'm alright with that. I got a weird idea in mind, so it's actually okay. But the other thing is a little bit too trippy. Right, so I guess we'll start preparing the next stage. So let's just move all of this up a bit. In fact, let's go vertical. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, I now have my batch thief, I have my batch insert, I have my trails. I think you can see where this is going if you've watched the show before. That's pretty much what we're going for. So that goes something like this. So this would be the insert. Insert. Target sequence. No. So target sequence, stolen effects, and insert. So that's how that works. So then you're not applying the effect to the whole thing, you're just applying it to some of it. Right? That's the idea. So I need to know how many frames there are, because I don't really know. I think there are 30. There might be 32. I need to find out. It would be nice if there are 32, because that divides nicely. Use KJ. Wipe me out. I got scammed. There we go. That should tell me how many images we have. Right. What did it crash on? That doesn't look too bad. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Okay. What did it crash at? Where did it crash? Stopped here. Ah! I forgot to hook them up. So yeah, work in progress, guys. Work in progress. Okay. There. Have we hooked them all up now? Hooked up. Yep, it's all hooked up. Alright, go again. Yo, Full Dive Media, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you. Like the show, guys. Like I say, we're back. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to ramp things back up to full speed. But yeah, we're going to be talking about writing. I've made a whole bunch of new writing tools which I want to share with you guys. But I thought we'd have a look at this first because I do like to front load the show with a little bit of comfy. So here we have our first image. Look at that face. It's so funny how the AI interpreted that part of it. Sometimes it puts the skull on top of the staff. It's kind of funny. It was a very limited data set though, so I'm not really surprised. This is pretty funny. Okay. Did we get the thing yet? Nope, I haven't got that far. All right. Oh, it's doing this one first now. What the? Oh no! Place the subject in a... Damn. That didn't work. Somewhere along the line. It was the friends we made. Okay. How about... recreate this image in Studio Ghibli style. Why can't I spell today? Alright, that'll do. That'll do. It's funny, look. Wow, that's a big one. It like still clearly looks like it was painted. That's not bad. To be honest, it's probably painted a little bit better than the real thing. Oh, action scene. See, this is actually pretty cool because what I've done is I've taken a model that I painted and then I've taken a couple of pictures of it and then I swapped the background out for various things with context and then I trained that as a LoRa and now we're generating that with the LoRa, but then we're using context again to change the scene of the generated version rather than the photo. It's actually kind of funny. It's very close. It's picked up a lot of detail. I'm going to do another retrain on this model tonight with basically an investigation on higher rank and higher steps. I haven't really seen it. Like, you could say it's overtrained, but there's only 2 poses. Oh, we've still got a something still hooked up wrong. See, this is how I debug. There you go. That's wrong. Just continuously run it until you get somewhere. Now, this is going to be a cool workflow once it's finished. I just need to actually hook everything up right. The Turbo Alpha LoRa works with context. Oh, I'm not actually to save speed for the sake of speed. I'm just paying with the API. It's fine. I don't mind cutting down to make it simpler. I don't mind. I think the APIs are cool, man. I'm like very pro API these days. Very pro API. Even though I still do like local stuff. Obviously you can just build, you could copy my entire stack for context right here. 4 times. And then wait for the model backend to switch from 3.5 back to context. You probably just use a Flux LoRa, guys. Oh, he's got a bit of a platform. See, I actually removed the platforms. But anyway, look at this. This is actually quite interesting. So what's the answer? It didn't tell me. Cheeky bugger. I gotta do a show any on it? We'll get there. I just need to know the number. I think it's 32, but I'm not sure. If it goes from 1 to, you know what I mean? Is it including or excluding when you say 30 times 2? Is that 60? Do you know what I mean? I think it's 30 or 32, but we'll find out. We'll find out eventually. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, still hasn't done that one yet. Oh, we got this one now. It's in a bedroom. Oh. Wait, is that what it... Yeah, that is actually what it looks like, though. Sheesh. So obviously we're saving all of these so we could use them for first frame, last frame. So my idea is simply that you could do video generation from these, reverse them, and then use that as a transition. But I want to do something else with the transition, so let me just see if I can mess around with this real quick. So let's see. Are we... No, it still doesn't tell me. Yo, Fernicar Battlecruiser operational. Ah, 10 steps, eh? Interesting. Oh, that's a funny old pose. Oh well, it is what it is. If it comes out funny, it stays funny. Okay. Do you know what? I should probably just do the whole thing. It'll probably look better if I just do the whole thing. It'd be nice if I had a way to blend in and out as well, but I don't. And I still don't know how many frames there are. So let's just test what we get. Turn the save off. I can keep the method. There we go.
Yeah, on the budget.
One more time, everyone. So yeah, this time we're going to run the video trails on the animation at the end. Do you know what? It might end up just being fine to just do that. And then the idea is at the very end, go audio reactive or use some WAN with the images, and you can like make more content with the same start frame. Do you know what? For making diorama, this is actually a sick workflow. So like, that's... Have I got an image? Can I get an image? Chaplin. Not Charlie Chaplin. One of the originals. Is that? That's the back. These are all the images that I made to train the model. Yeah. So that's a photo of the unit, but it's been automatically masked and repainted for the train. It's quite funny. Some of them came out a bit weird. But, you know, looks. There's a picture of the actual guy, right? Yo, Dom! Cambrian explosion of node paths on that workflow. Yes, indeed. Hello from Dubai. Do you know what? It would be a lot worse if we actually had the local context, but I'm using an API call to simplify things. So yeah, it costs a bit more, but it's easier to demo. Obviously, it'd be a much more complicated workflow. But yeah, that was the ground truth right there. So that's actually pretty close. And like I said, what we did is we put them in a new scene and then removed the base. And so then you've effectively got a way to showcase your work. But this isn't actually the figure. It's been like, you know, it's how I painted it. But it's just AI, you know what I mean? We've trained a model on the one figurine. Then we do context, changes location in the exact same pose. And then we can do a rife. And then what I'm gonna do, yeah, look at this. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, and then we're ready. So I reckon 15 frames. That looks cool. So it's working basically. The only difference what I was doing before was this would pick out not the whole video but only parts of it. Okay, but I'm actually changing my mind and thinking that it's going to do the blur for me. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe I'll show you what I meant. So we've got the number now. It's actually 32 minus 1, which is interesting. So that means you have your start frame, your 30 interpolations, and then that's it. On its way to the target, which is the last frame. So that's interesting. I've never noticed that nuance before. Okay. So yeah. So actually, I should be doing 31 or 29. So it's 30. Yeah. Wait. Does that work now? We'll find out. 29. We'll see if it gives us 30 dead. And then for this one, we'll activate this. And then, as you can imagine, I want to get the middle, right? So let's divide it into, you know, in fact, I'd be better off at 32 again. Let's say 31, so it's 32, and then I can say the start frame I want to be 8, and then 24, so it's a nice, so it's a nice round, you know, 8 at the beginning, 8 at the end, 16 in the middle. We're trying to take the 16 frames in the middle. So then what I do is I put the same values in here, 8 and 24. Now the difference between swap and insert is that swap is actually going to make sure that this has the same length, whereas insert can put more frames in here. So say we interpolated this in here, it would make it longer and just push the video length out. Okay, so it's kind of like a primitive way of doing overlay or insert with thing. Dragon Diffusion says Gordon's alive. Yeah, damn straight. What a legend. Okay. What I'm going to say though is this is designed to sort of like pick it out, whereas this is just just apply the whole thing. Okay, so there's a bit of a difference there. Let's show that off. Okay. So the difference would be, or it should be, video A is the whole thing. Video B will just be the middle. So it's more like a way of doing a transition. Yeah? Okay. So again, if I just take this image, say repeat 30, so we get 1 second of it. And then I'll copy that, get that for a second. In fact, let's do it snappier. So let's say 15 and 15. Okay, and we're going to take that image as the end image. I'm just going to do it without alpha for the sake of argument, but it's probably just superstition more than anything there. And you're probably thinking, well, where the hell does this go? And I'm thinking this would be the start, this would be the end. So if we do merge video with media mixer, probably need 2 of them. So it'll be in there for the first image. So I'll put that up here, make it more logical. Okay, and we can decide which one we want, but I'll go with the full version just to begin. And I guess we could probably bring that down to there. And then this is going to be the B because it's the end merge. And so it's essentially a little bit of that. And then we'll just take this last one here, plug that in, and then get a file path. for it. And save yes, please. Okay. Now I'm going to be applying this to all of them. So this will be fun. Let's see if we've made any more mistakes. So I should get 32 there. So it's divisible by 8. I don't know if it'll work. We'll see. I've not tried a 31 multiplier just to make it divide evenly before. I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, so by using interpolation between two different images and then using the trails, we get this strange effect. So the other effects, I'm not sure if they're going to work quite so well, but you never know. These are going to be pretty cool anyway. Oh wow, turning into a cartoon. Alright, cool. So I guess in preparation, let's just separate things a bit. Let's see, that can go like that. Maybe. Alright, and then copy. Oh, excuse me. Uh-oh. Yeah, calm down. I didn't actually do it yet. We copied everything without the paths. Oh no. Alright, cool. Cool. Right. And now we need to become experts on how to hook up this spaghetti. So it looks to me like there's 3 links, 4 links, and that's it. There's actually only 4 links there. So they all come off of this pretty much, except for the repeats. So straight away the repeat goes up the top, so that's easy. And then the repeat from the bottom. So I'll do those first, just as one big change. Oh yeah, come from the remove alpha node as well. Okay. Put that on the top, put this one on the bottom. Come up to number 2. And then I gotta hook up, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I probably should have made a reroute to make that hookup easier, but it's pretty straightforward, I think. You know, you gotta make sure that the right video is being sent through, which would obviously be whatever feeds your video output. And so obviously we're not using video generation in this, we're just using interpolation tricks with special effects to get an A to B. Now obviously you could use your own load image for each A and B. I just thought it would be fun to generate one of them with a custom LoRa and then use that image with the API for context to change it into something else. I just thought it would be fun, guys. Alright, he's already in the jungle and he's going into the jungle, so it gives this look. It's kind of funny. And then when we do our interpolation, do our special effect, we get something like this. Okay, and we're not done either. Oh yeah, so how did it look like for the section versus the whole thing? Looks the same to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it look the same? I guess you get a blink. I feel like it hasn't actually updated this. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait, I think. Yeah, it hasn't done it. So is it done this one then? Yeah, you get to see a little bit more of the image when you do it this way. Yeah. I prefer it the other way around, so we're going to use the batch instead of the main. So I'm going to delete the main, get rid of that. remove the preview and use this one. Okay, let's just make that change everywhere. Wait, did I just screw that up? Yeah, I did. It goes into B. Yeah, it goes into B, not the A. Whoops! Wrong letter. My bad. So it goes in the B, and then the repeat goes in the A. Getting my B's and A's mixed up. God. Much nicer. Super clean. Alright, super clean. Super simple. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Chuck that down there. Put that there. Put this one in here. And same thing here. That one's looking good. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Put this down. Something like this. Right. So this one goes in the B. There it is. Alright. Now we've got everything. Yeah, these haven't been updated yet. So save that and run it again. The lighting effects, indeed. Gordon Freeman? I know, right? Everything becomes Gordon Freeman. Oh, it looks like one of the app versions of 40k. The realization of infinite gacha games. And his soul just exploding into the warp. Not bad, not bad. Not bad. Where are we at? We're at here. What? Something went wrong there. Didn't change. Something went wrong there. Oh, but it's okay. It figured it out. Ooh. Do you know what? I didn't want to do it, but I think it will actually make more sense. Do you know what? Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting. So we have it changed to something, and I could set up a whole thing to change it somewhere else or back, right? But I think that actually this isn't where we should be. We should go back to this. I think the easiest way to do it is just to select ping pong right there, because then it'll go in and then it will go back out, and we'll get that for the whole thing. It's gonna double the length though, so there's other adjustments to make. So this will actually be 64, I think. Wait, no it won't, because the ping pong is done here. I have to do it myself. Hold up. I'm glad I went over it. It's not as easy as just doing ping pong. What we've got to do, and we'll have to change the math of this as well, see, because it's going to be more frames. So reverse image back, merge video. Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a change. So Okay. Perfect time for a reroute. So if I reroute everything that was attached to this, except that, to this, and then we'll do, we don't need to worry about that anymore. So we're going to get the video merge, that's going to feed it, the reroute. And then we're just going to do video A, flip, video B. There we go. Nice and tidy there. That's nice, that's nice. It's not bad, not bad. Yeah. Hook it up. Hook it up. It's such a mess for some reason. Why is it a mess? What happened? What was different? Something different. No idea. No idea. Just put it something like that. And, it's like when people write code and it's like people say, oh, you could write some comments so people know what the hell is going on. I'm like, it's fair. It's a fair comment. But this is just like, oh. Okay, right. I think it's annoying. It's annoying the way it's set up. Oh, we put it down there for some reason. It makes this look like a total mess. Total mess. But hey, it's a way to get it done. Excuse me. Slightly different pattern. That's why. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like, it's just the way I've shifted things around just a little bit here and there, and then it's just like, it looks completely different. What a nightmare. Anyway. It's done. Maybe. Save that and go. And now the problem I'll have is it's going to show where I'm going for like a blink and then blink back. But that might not be a problem. I'm just thinking it might be more than I want. And so then that's when I would say, okay, let's change the range. Because at the moment the range is not... Yeah, it's not long enough, but I don't really know what it is yet. I need to find out. I need to get the number again. Does it give me the number anywhere? Look at this, 9. Uh-oh, that's not good, is it? It shouldn't be 9. Multiplier. Ah, look at this. They're wrong. 31. Okay, so there we go. We've got a missing parameter. Save that. So that would explain why these aren't really doing it. And again, the envelope isn't the whole thing. So yeah, it's 64 now. So let's change it to 1664 so we get the whole thing. Now I would point out GIMS is better than Rife and Film, but it requires a huge amount of compute compared to the other two. So it's much easier to test things like this, and then if you want a bit more quality, you can swap out Rife for GIMS. Okay, But I wouldn't bother doing it in a big workflow like this because it's just going to be a nightmare to show off. It's going to use a lot of oomph. And you're going to be like struggling. So even with a 4090, 64 gigs of RAM, and all the best of intentions, it won't help. What are we doing? Which row are we working on right now? I can click on this, can't I? Where are you? No. We're doing context. Okay. Okay, not a bad image. I'd say that's pretty good. The nice thing about doing it is you get a little bit of the natural, you get natural relighting. Yeah, it's going to make some mistakes. Like, remember, I trained this on 2 photos, which I used RemBG to swap out the backgrounds. Okay, ideally, I would actually take more pictures for real. You know what I mean? But it proves that the remove background training method is solid, which is an interesting one. It's an interesting one because you can choose then. You can have a little bit more control over the training data. It certainly learned the textures. Like, it does actually look like badly painted plastic, which is nice, you know. Oh boy, here we go. We're going to end up creating some like fake AI video type stuff, you know, with the right manipulations. Oh wow. Whoa. The trails are crazy. It's totally unpredictable. So yeah, I don't think that the last change I made has been updated yet. Yeah. So we need to copy clip space. Yeah, that's my bad, guys. I forgot to update everything. See, sometimes I'll connect a central parameter to it all, so you just, you know, make one change, but I'm lazy today. Still pretty cool though. Oh my god. Burp. See, right now the effect doesn't line up with the other effect, so it's a bit weird. But we'll get the effects to line up. What the heck? We're getting there. We're getting there. And obviously, if the backgrounds were a little bit more theme appropriate, this would probably be cool. Like, you could do flashing from a monastery to the depths of hell. I don't know. In fact, why don't we change that? Place the subject into a scene depicting the depths of hell itself. I don't even know if it can understand something like that, but we'll see. What else could we do? Place the subject into combat in the Colosseum against fighting demons. Okay, what else could we do? Dynamic scene actually works quite nicely, but we should say a dynamic grimdark scene. Okay, and then how about... Actually, do you know what? These are coming out kind of fun. But we should say... replace the background with I don't know, explosions? No, you can't do that. Oh, I'm just going to do something interesting here. I've never tried this. It might ignore me, but it, you know, we'll see what happens, right? Replace the background with grimdark. Looks pretty good actually. Okay, so we fixed the yeah. He goes somewhere and he comes back. Alright. And then there's one remaining change, which is that now we're not there, we're here again. So we end where we finished. And that gives us a loop, which is actually kind of cool. Yes. Whoa, I didn't mean to move it. Put that back there. Put that back there. Put that there. So there's my two repeats. Sit either side of the merge. Right over there. Oh, careful about those floating delete buttons. I've hit them a few times. This mess. Oh man, it's such a mess. It drives me nuts. It really shouldn't bother me though, so. Right. Remember, we're just using cheap interpolation here, okay? I'm not trying to, like, go crazy. Obviously, you could replace any step to get a different effect out of it if you wanted. Oh my god, that's not correct. So yeah, we gotta wait for the update. Lightning effect is kind of there. Time for the update on that machine. Update? Oh, what, on this Google? Yeah, probably. I don't let them do that if I can help it. Oh, we're not using 49. We're not using 49. Excellent. More improvements to be made. Probably should have set that early, but you know, you miss stuff, right? We're only human. And then we continue. So I'm going to go with a 3x here. And we'll go with a 60 here. I think that'll be okay. No, actually, just a 2x. And then we'll call this one the Interp 2. The machine that needs to be filled with more water on Sunday Chill. It's true. Yes, that one. I know. We're not doing that though. I haven't got any coffee here tonight. So there's no coffee time. There is no time for coffee time. It's fine. So thank you for reminding me, Fernica. Thank you very much. So let's see. Yes, I think that's good. But we're going to have to adapt it because there is still yet more to do. And we can rehook up the images as we go. So what I reckon is probably do a cathode ray, because I do love my cathode ray. So how about we just go to there and we'll say, let's see, cathode ray. And then I could do, no, we've done VHS. What about VHS V3 though? Yeah, VHS V3. Let's see, we'll go like that, put that there. And cathode ray time, VHS V3 time, and then, ooh, am I feeling brave? No, we'll do that last. Save that till last, he said. Okay. I think that's actually, I probably gave it a bit too much room. Yeah, we don't need all that. Okay. up real quick. So we go from here to there and from there to there. Double check it. Yeah, we did get it right. So easy to go off the wrong node. Okay. Next, here we go. Follow it through. It's starting to look a little bit like a map of the Tron City. Can we plug that in there? Yeah. Alright, cool. So currently it's set up, but there's one more thing. Merge time. Video merge, please. So it's probably about 240 frames right now, but it might balloon out to 500. So I'm going to have to put video management. Oh, is it? The music's overpowering me? Sorry, guys. Just shout when that happens, because the mic's on an arm now, so it just means I have to move the mic a little bit. It's like Joe Rogan. Can you speak into the mic, please? So, yeah. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. So, look. Ready? This is close. That's an inch. That's 2 inches. So it's kind of sensitivo. So if I lean back in my chair, it feels like I went to a different planet. I'm getting used to that. Okay. Merge. So yeah, as you might imagine, we're going to do a merge tournament. So let's see, one into there, another one into there. Okay, you guessed it. Same thing here. 1 in, 2 in. Okay. And go to there. Alright. And I suppose, you know, yeah, it's just alright. And then we will grab one of these, put that there. So now we've just put everything we made into a crazy thingy, right? Crazy thingy. So now what I want to do is I want to make an upscaled version. So I'd put the upscale here. But what if instead of that we did audio reactive stuff? You know, using the loop. But I think it's probably worth just set it up first and see what it looks like, you know? But I think adding the audio reactive stuff there would probably be a cool idea. So let's just take this project, put him all the way over here, and then we should get a nice sort of final video. What's he going to be at? He's at 60 FPS. Could you output this to a live video like a webcam? Yeah, you could totally do that. I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just cook the files and then have a playlist playing on whatever software I use with my webcam, like OBS or whatever. But certainly you could have it playing. Like you could have it playing in Comfy like this, and then you could have that embedded into, you can crop out the screen while looking at this web page. I don't know. There's lots of ways you can do it. I think you could do that. I'd use a virtual camera output. Just responding to Omni Chromatica's question, could you output this to a live video like a webcam? And I would say look into virtual webcams. Yeah. Alright. So let's go again. So this is pretty much what we're looking at. It's just an interesting thing that happens to the image. But we're generating the image, and then I don't think it's ever actually run the full workflow yet, so let's see if we're there. Face tracking and have your face or something like your character. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, there are ways of doing that, but they're not real time yet. We're still waiting for them to catch up and be real time. You can do the open pose real time, but you can't do open pose and depth real time. So it's kind of just got to be done in advance. It's kind of tricky. It's a trick. It's tricky. There he is in hell itself. That's fair enough. It's funny as hell. Look at this. It's like Not Hammer. Welcome to Not Hammer 40,000, where everything is cheap. There is only bootlegging. I like this. This is a cool effect. It's working. See, they won't all work because it's total random interpolation nonsense. But it is working. It's doing the thing. It's giving me cool animation. Did I say knob hammer? Nah, the only knobs in Warhammer are Orky. Orky. Okay, so we're going to get another one. Remember, this is a randomized prompt. I'm just pulling from my training set, so we could probably make better than that. But just a quick wait. Where is it? Do I have it? Here we go. A reminder. It was trained on stuff like that, but I only actually took a few photos. See, that was pretty good. That actually does look a lot like the model, but obviously with no base and in a realistic setting, like a diorama style. Can I find the one which is that actual front shot? Is it that one? No. I took it with extreme bokeh. I find the damn thing. So many images. Is that one? That's close enough. So as you can see, that's the real photo. Very much very much narrow field of view on it, okay? I was having fun with my new 16mm lens, if you must know. So I probably had the f-stop a little tight, okay? But you can see a lot of the detail here that makes this obviously painted. The, you know, anyway. Let me see the one that's frontal. It's not that one. That one? No, that's the back. Look at the dust. You even picked up the dust. Like dust and fluff. In fact, you can see how I cheat when I paint. You can see the cheating. You can see the cheating. Anyway, like the camera's that good, you can actually see the bloody the brush strokes. Is it that one? Nah, it's another rear angle. Another rear angle. Whatever, I can't find the forward view. But as you can see, that's what it looks like. So that's what it was trained on. And so for it to get, there was a front view which looks a lot like this. Okay, so that is an image it was trained on too. All right. But yeah, we generate the image using the LoRa we trained. Then we use context to put it in a different setting. Okay, it's so cool. It's like AI dioramas, but we use a real painted figure that we painted, or well, you can use a photo of a painted figure if you want. But because context makes it so easy to edit like this. That's funny, isn't it? Done a very strange way of changing it. I don't know, man. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, you speed it up, I bet it'll look radical. Main. Has it done the whole thing yet? No. We're still in the middle, guys. We're still in the middle. Is that a power knob or a plasma knob? Says Dragon. No, it's a big knob. That's the law canon. Because the biggest knobs are the best. Yeah, it hasn't actually, it's still working its way through this insane workflow. To be honest, you only really need one of these. But I didn't know what direction it was going to go in from the start. I didn't know if I was going to combine the 4 into a grid, which is why I made 4. In the end, I didn't. Maybe I should. Maybe I should put them all back in a grid. Oh, we got a little bit of that stuff going on, guys. We got it going on. Right, let me see if I can calm that down. We're using defaults. Right, fluctuating. I don't want scan lines, even though they are cool. We'll take the curvature down to 0.1. The glow amount can go to 0.1. I don't want any color bleeding for this one. And the noise 0.03. Right, copy clip space and paste to those nodes. Alright. And with that done, we can have fun with the VHS effect. So I'm going to go with a little bit more warm this time. I think EP, LP. But take the composite down. And I actually don't want any distortion bands. Just noise lines. We'll have one. Yeah. Okay. It's just another consideration. Okay. Now we could do better at this point by actually giving ourselves some like decent prompts. And I came up with a cool way of doing that the other day. We actually covered this before in the past. Let me see, it's not that one. It's not that one. Do you know what it is? It's not here. It's not here. So I guess I'll just make it again. Not the best solution. Let me explain. I have a sequential number generator, and a lot of people don't know what it's for. It's actually so that you can do a distributor. So, how the hell does that make any sense, Johnson? So, have you ever seen a select node before? Select any. Switch. This is a kind of, I wouldn't really call it advanced, but so this you might have seen switch any before. Okay. You might have seen this. So currently we have like 4 rows. So what I can do is I could say when the prompt runs, instead of it going to all of them like it does now, I could have it. No, not that one. Not that one. That one. Right. And we'd say 1, 2. In fact, I think you can have that as 0. I'm not sure. I think it's 1. 1 to 4. Okay. What the? Yeah, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. I knew this would happen. This is what we're building now, by the way. It's too big. It's too humongous. And so it's not allowed. But it's actually looking kind of nice right now. making some cool stuff. Making cool stuff. Right. A little bit weird, that one, but it worked okay. Yeah, the blackness. It's the blackness. Might be worth doing like a blend layer or something instead, but hey. Details. Let me just go here. So I have my sequential number generator. And bring it to there. And then when it goes to input, right? I'm just trying to remember if I'm doing this the right way around, guys. I'm pretty sure that... Yeah, this is going to work, but I don't... Right, this is the fun part. You ready for this one? Was it that one that we liked the best? Yeah, probably. Okay, so... This was fun, right? It was fun. But we don't need it. Because the distributor does the same thing, but without needing all that. So right here, we're coming from this into this. And then it doesn't let you do it. You've got to love it. Is it because I broke it earlier? Yeah, I broke it earlier, guys. Remember when I attached it? It turned it into the thing. Yeah, that's my bad. I broke it earlier when I attached it wrong. Okay, that won't happen for you. So, when 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It makes it a little bit more easy to understand. So obviously that would be... Come on. Can you put more than one in there? Hang on, guys. I keep breaking my switches. So we go in and then... Am I... Guys. Where's the new input? Can I, sad face. I'll find a different switch. That was stupid. I don't know what's wrong with that. I think maybe I have to update my impact pack. Let's go with the crystals version. No. See, it's made for this switch system. From impact pack. Easy use. Have they got one like that? No. Any inverse switch should work. But only if I can actually attach more than one thing to it. Yeah, there's something wrong with my switches, guys. Damn. Okay, so what I was attempting to do here was attach multiple text boxes and then the string. See, why does it say int out? Something's not right with my switches. What normally happens is you attach multiple text inputs and then you attach that to the clip text input there, and what you can do is, say I have 5 inputs, right? It's driven by this. I must be missing something crucial here. I'll check up and get back to you on it next time, but the point I'm trying to make is that this goes 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 like a distributor. And so then all you have to do is queue up 4, and it will do each one in turn every time. Like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, and so then that way you don't need 4 runs. You can just have 1 run, which is changing dependent on the number, and then the number changes, like you say. You can have it be anything. It's sort of set to sequential. But yeah, I think I've messed up something regarding how you hook this up. I don't know what I've done differently here, but I'm pretty yeah. I literally did this the other anyway, I'll get back to you on that. That's weird. That's weird. Oh well. Anyway. How's he looking? Those are the old effects. Let's go again. Right. So that's pretty much that. Chaining with a bridge from SD3.5, the LoRa, with using flux context to synthesize your dataset, and then using special effects and interpolation and all that good stuff just to get something interesting out of it. Doesn't really, you know, need to be. I think it's pretty cool. Got like an interesting thing going on, but it's very random because obviously the colors are determined by partly what's underneath and then partly by the motion, and the motion here is the difference between A and B. So obviously if we're doing a background replacement, it shouldn't really move too much, which means it'll kind of line up. Now I would say you could make this better by doing like an opacity blend so that it's like it doesn't. Look at this. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool, considering it's just interpolating two images. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. And then put it through the machine. Looking good. We haven't got that far yet. Alright. Oh, did I accidentally order 4? My bad. So that's the final. Well, if we can't do any of the other nonsense I wanted to do, I guess we'll do upscaling. And obviously the other thing is changing the size of the image, because at the moment it's 1:1. So how about we just ask for 16 to 9. So we'll go wide. We'll say flow wide. There it is. Flow wide. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of screen lines. But I think you can see this is 60 FPS. We can slow this down. We can blur it out. We can use our own artwork as well. You know, I've just generated these images. You could have loaded in like official Warhammer 40k art or freeze frames from video games. The effect's still going to work just as well. Probably better actually. I think this is pretty cool, and it's not expensive or slow because it's cheap. We're just using special effects. We're not redrawing this with AI. But you could. We could feed this into Canny or something crazy. See what happens. I'm not gonna, but you could do that too. Should we just do that quick because I want to move it. So I guess the last thing to do is the upscale, and that'll probably blow it up. So. width and height. And then I will go with 0.3 with the advanced by cubic bob. Don't bother with a temporal radius. I think that will do. The only thing is you need to meta batch it for whatever your system can handle. I think I can do 150 frames, so I'm going to go try do that. So that's part of the video helper suite. It'll break up the job when it gets to the final sampler to only do 150 and increase the chances of you not exploding. Okay, so yeah, let's oh, and we should have a random seed, so yeah, that's the other thing. Now, like I said, I've got this prompt randomizer here. I don't really know what it's going to say. It could be anything, because it's prompt randomizer right at the moment. So we could start like editing, we could start prompt engineering from that as a base, but I'm going to leave that for now. I just want to get an idea of how slow or quick this will be. Do I have that in blue? A big boy bolter knob? Yeah, actually, I think that is what they're called. A heavy bolter. Yeah. Well, I don't think they have bolters. I think they call them sluggers and pluggers and stuff like that. I forget. Okay, so we've gone 16 to 9, everybody. It still looks a bit weird, you know, like if you've got an eye for 40k, you'll notice immediately the collar's wrong, the face is wrong, the mark, this is too short, the skull's got a weird lip, this tassel thing shouldn't be there, there's a thing on the gun that shouldn't be there, that's like a crying face, not a skull. Oh, well, you know what I mean. Seems like, I don't know, it looks like a pipe, but it's actually just his jacket. No writing on the thing, on the scroll. It doesn't even know it is a scroll. It probably thinks it's like a belt or something. And then, yeah. They used to be called bolters, and the orcs had rusty bits, bolt boy, green knob guns. Yeah, they just call them, like, I think they're called sluggers. I think they're called sluggers, yes. So obviously we do a context edit and place our mini into a new scene. Now you can spend forever prompt crafting those scenes, but as you can see it's pretty effective. Works even better with photos. And then we're going to do a, oh, what's happened here? Ah, silly me. Gotta update the params. Alright, so we've done that. And then we're getting into this. And this is going to be like a crazy change, because it's framed wrong. But in a way, that's not such a bad thing. I mean, look, it looks like he's kind of growing or moving or something. Not bad. The curvature pop is actually kind of cool. Let me get rid of this. That's actually not bad. I mean, if you just slowed that down and you were doing like a lore narrative video or something, it's not something that you couldn't use. You could color correct it if you wanted to get rid of the greens or something. I don't know. Look, he's doing the upscale now. but it's broken. I wonder how much video I'll get out of it when it's done. That little pop and bump feature is because of the curvature, by the way. It's like popping. I like that. It's very cool. Oh. Is it finished? Nope. Still breaking it up into bits. Little bits. Yeah, God knows. God knows. But yeah, this, you could just put this onto like 100, because it's all randomized anyway. So you're going to get different locations, the same guy. It's kind of cool how I did a different size and it kind of just figured it out. Just zooming in. Makes sense. Change the FOV. Alright, well, that's enough of that. Before I run out of time, I better start talking about Writer's Room, because, you know, blah, 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 blah. That was the whole point. It's because we talked a lot about it on the Discord earlier today, so if you weren't there, guys, you missed out, but it was fun. I had a little bit of a chat. I haven't got the actual documents on this machine, and it's probably switched itself off. So, I will take you through the chats. How about we start with this? So, narrative in painting, alright? Narrative in painting. This is a new thing, right? The idea is that using LLMs, we can do extreme, bulk, like, structured editing en masse. Mass editing across multiple documents. Okay. And the idea is to use agents to offer us reports which can be turned into plans, and then those plans will be used to operate the in-painting agent. So you don't need to, you can just give him quoted text and say, here's the quoted text, which is a mask, like in in-painting. And then with the page as an artifact in the project that you're working on, you're able to reference it, say, working on that page, make these changes. And then the plan, which you copy into that chat, would be the result of another agent, right? So I've got various holographic tutor version 2 is the one I've been using. So holographic tutor v2, he's going to write a report to my spec. So I'm going to say that I'll show you this, what we're looking at here. Yeah. So what we've done is we've decided, after I finished writing this book, I've decided that actually the technical stuff is too generic, too lame, not well thought out. The terminology, so it's like quantum this, quantum that all the time, yeah? And I didn't want to rewrite the whole thing, yeah? So this is the sort of thing this is perfect for. So I got my Uno agent and I said, hey, you can identify, no, first I said you can extract all the technical terms into a new file called glossary. We've done this before with other projects. The difference was that once I had my list, I started editing it. So I edited it down myself and then told him to read my law and, you know, try to increase the theme that I had introduced partially into the remaining technology naming, right? And so off it went, and it did that, and I approved that. And then I have a glossary of terms, which I can add to my project bucket, right? And so then with the glossary of terms, I was able to go back to Uno. No, not Uno. No, I did. I went to Uno. I said, write me a list for Act 1, which quotes every time I didn't use the right terminology, cross-reference with my glossary. Okay? So that would generate me a prompt for the inpainting agent. So then I don't actually have to do it. Yeah, sure, you can quote some text and say change this, but that's a bit labor intensive considering the power of the tool. So instead what I've done is I've got the prompt. I've said, here's my glossary of terms, here's Act 1, fix it. And the way this narrative inpainting tool works is really cool because it's cheap. So unlike every other tool which you might see out, it doesn't rewrite the whole document. So let me show you. This is the bit that I want to show you because it looks like it's not working, but it is. So let me just show you the setup real quick. This is called Projects. So as you can see, I have the Ordin Rosa glossary. I have Act 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have my world, my Ordin Rosa structure. I have my project instructions, I have my lore book, I have my characters, I have the narrative spittoon rules, I have the holographic tutor V2, which contains semantic echo now, thank you very much, Vernicar. And then we have the Ghostwriter style, which is currently Ritchie, Asimov. Why has my mind gone blank? Ritchie. Wait. Henderson, Asimov, Ritchie. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, anyway, don't get sidetracked. Don't get sidetracked. So obviously I've given it my entire project, and I've also given it the glossary that we made and the act. And these are I've already done Uno, I've already done inpainting once. Okay, I've already done that. And now this is the second pass. So now we're doing light corrections across the entire book, okay, to get the terminology right, because it was too generic, okay? All right. So what we did was we made ourselves a plan. While working on Act 2, we can follow defined text generation rule set listed inside Ordin Rosa project instructions.md, which defined all the artifact governing narrative generation. As we work through this list of improvements I've included in the pasted text, we can use narrative inpainting to improve the text as instructed, updating Act2.md artifact in place as you complete the alterations. So, this is the Act 2 alterations. So it is literally a list of quotes which need to be changed. Okay? It's just a list of quotes. So like every single line represents a single edit. Okay? And it's automated all of it. Right? So then I just come in, and this is the beauty of it, right? Because I thought it wasn't working at first, okay? But if you take a look at that. That's what it looks like when it's working. Check it. It only does the bits that change. It doesn't do the whole thing, which is actually huge, because in a chat, normally he's writing out the whole thing. So if you try to use this and you see that it's writing out the whole page, it's not working right. It should never write the whole page. Okay? The whole point is to save on tokens by only writing out the bits that were changed, and you don't have to find it, and it can only change the bit that's masked. So like, I've enhanced the prologue section with much more detailed technological context while preserving the narrative voice and flow. Now let me move to the next high priority item, the industrial hangar atmosphere expansion, targeting the quote, "The celebration has ended with the finality of a power shutdown" from scene 1. Looking at scene 1, I need to find a specific quote and enhance the atmospheric details around it with sensory immersion, including atmospheric recycling sounds, reduced gravity effects, temperature variation, and electromagnetic interference from sword systems. So, yeah, it's mega. So if I look at the result of that, I don't know. I can't tell if he added it because it's so chaotic. But yeah, like I said, we can update the terminology according to the plan. Here's the terminology changes, right? Current quote, neural interface ports along its collar pulse with residual charge from extended connection time. suggested enhancement. Anima Rosa ports along his collar pulse with residual charge from extended Soul Rose connection time. You see, we're putting in lore-specific stuff. Like, you know, it's not just Obi-Wan Kenobi did telepathy on the Imperial Stormtrooper. No, everyone knows it's a Jedi mind trick, right? So have fun with it. Make up your own stuff, yeah? Make it more, because then the problem with when you write with AI is it's very generic. Remember what I said about dry and wet? It's like audio. Dry is when you haven't done much to it yet, let's be real. Wet is when you probably did too much to it, right? I'm just trying to borrow terminology here, because sometimes I think it works. And what we've got is dry text. So targeting systems achieve lock-on solutions, right? And then the wet version is Rosa targeting arrays achieve lock-on solutions through Spiritus guided battlefield awareness. What's Rosa targeting? What's Spiritus guided? Who knows? It's part of the lore, you know what I mean? You wrote your lore, you want it to sound like your lore. So Vital Signs Monitoring System becomes Vitalis Rosa Authentication Systems monitoring Sanguis readings and core patterns, which is basically its sci-fi techno-babble for heartbeat and brain fire. You know what I mean? Heartbeat and brain. So, Dominic, slippery when wet, indeed. But I do believe that when you have a narrative like a script is quite dry because it's just the text, but you could make it wet. And so I'm going to show you what I mean by that by showing you Act 2. Oh, it's not there. Where is it? So I'm updating my acts here. So this isn't finished, by the way. This is a work in progress, but I'm doing this as a little bit of a backflip. Alright, so you'll have to bear with me. So if I just show you Act 2, it will become plainly clear what I'm actually up to here. Now, can we zoom in? Romeo and Juliet on Mars. All dialogue is preserved from Shakespeare's original text. Narrative descriptions expanded and enriched using Unified Narrative Operator Enhancement System. So I've written a mecha anime that's actually Romeo and Juliet, and I kept the original speech from, like, you know, the original manuscript speech. Okay, so the lines are like old English, because I always play with this whole idea that in the future old stuff comes back around. And so this idea that you've got a bunch of, like, a warring noble family on the moons of Mars, they're competing for a mech contract, and you know, it's to be honest, as I wrote more of this, I was like, damn, Gundam is just Shakespeare with mechs. Damn, you wouldn't have thought, but it actually makes sense. Now obviously I have gone hard with this one, so it is literally the whole of Romeo and Juliet, but in my mecha futuristic setting. Yeah, everything happens. And I tell you what, do you know what the hardest part was? The double self-sleep. Claude was like, you can't do that. And I said, it's Shakespeare. I don't get to change it. I can change everything, but I'm not allowed to change the words, because that's what the play is, yeah? You can, everyone's done this. This has been done many times. Matter of fact, Leonardo DiCaprio was in a Romeo and Juliet Hollywood adaptation that's quite famous. And they did it all in modern day, but they kept the words the same. And that's what gave me the inspiration to give this a go. So, anyway, we've got a complete mecha, it's got a complete sci-fi mecha storyline. As Archer would say, have we stopped doing phrasing? No, we never stopped doing phrasing, Dom. We never stopped doing phrasing. But yeah, it's completely it's in a new world with a completely new setting. I've basically made it like, this is the Gundam of Romeo and Juliet. This is what it is. It's Romeo and Juliet Gundam, but not Gundam for copyright reasons. And I didn't supply any Shakespeare to Claude. He did it all on his own. Isn't he amazing? So anyway, the sword is the name of the mech. And I hope you can see the parallel, right? So when they do the duels, they're doing big robot battles. It's pretty cool. The whole plot works. I want to read through it a couple more times just to make sure, but I'm at the point of reducing the amount of times he says quantum, okay? Because he got quite obsessed with saying quantum all the time. Let's just scroll through here and find a nice bit to leave on the screen. Oh, come on, mate. Come on. I swear that Act 2... Oi! Oh, I have to actually scroll down myself. It won't let me use the thing on the side there, so... Let me see. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? Right, we want to do... Have I done Act 3 yet? I don't think I've updated it yet, so there might be some overly tech-heavy language. So where is the bit... Oh, Tybalt's here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's not looking good. Tybalt's masking predatory intent. I think we could call that foreshadowing. But we all know what happens. If you're not familiar with Romeo and Juliet, look it up. It's pretty good. But yeah, can we... So they're all joking about women. And one of the men gets offended, just to break it down. And in the end, 2 men die. In the end, 2 men are dead. So, you know, that's what happens, basically. There's 3 guys. They're talking about girls. Things get out of hand. That's pretty much what happens. Tale as old as time. So, look at this. Look at all this. Alla stoccata. They're even doing, like, fencing moves. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk? And look, they're speaking in the old English. What wouldst thou have with me? He calls him a king of cats. It's all pretty cool, actually. I'm like, this came out way better than I thought it would. And what it actually does, this is what it actually does. It establishes a new process by which you can take old stories from the public domain and then use the same image-to-image techniques that we use currently to style images with text. Now, we already knew you could style images, okay? But this mass intelligence in-painting technique, it basically means you could just come along and say, with the right instructions, you can completely transform a narrative from A to B, okay? So at the moment, I'm using it to embed my narrative into a script which I'm not allowing him to change. So those are just rules which I've told him to pretend to follow, right? And he pretends pretty damn well because he's delivering the goods right now. I mean, feel free to read what's up on the screen. It's unedited. This is how it came out. It's clearly about it's about, you can clearly see this is a mecha anime, right? It's a bunch of young men and big robots fighting about girls. It's a mecha anime. But the point I'm trying to make is that it was created through a transformation of Shakespeare. And this is the thing. And this is the thing I'm really trying to underscore with this project. Not changing the words was a choice. I could have changed the words and not told anyone, but that's not the issue. That's not the point. Okay, AI is good enough that you can't tell. So if you have a good enough idea, you can embed it into a complex system. And so the last thing I'm going to talk to you about is something I've been working on for a while, which it's not really ready, but feel free to play with it. I put a copy of it up in the Writers Club on Discord, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, let me see, did I drop it in here? Let me check. I'm sure I did. It's because I've been writing Shakespeare for a and it's like been dwarfed. enhancement plan, system prompt. So yeah, I put in the step-by-steps of everything that we're doing in the IELTS Club, so you can find a whole bunch of really useful information and results. How to use our agents, because we have so many agents like this one here we're talking about right now, the prototype system prompt. It's not a prototype anymore. It works now. Was there a new one? Yeah. If you ever see that the latest version is the current version, do you remember that? Remember that. Dominic says, very clever and useful, very similar to style transfer in diffusion controlness. Yes, yes it is. Yes it is. The only difference is that we use Agent A to write a report using our narrative bucket and the pages on what we want to change. So we say, make a list of every time there's an instance of this thing I want to change, but you don't tell it what you want to change it to yet. It writes you a big old list. You use that as the prompt. You go into the in-painting and you say, using my list of quoted texts, change it to how I want it to be changed, but still following all of my narrative rules. So, only with my world, only in my characters, only my ghostwriting style, only this, only that. And so then, when you let it rip, and this is the best part, it's so cheap, because normally it would be rewriting every single page of the book every time. But this genuinely only changes the quoted text. That's why I'm calling it masked in-painting, text in-painting, because it's masking that bit of text and only changing that bit of text. But it's doing it in a way where you can supply it with like a big old playlist of things that need to change. And like I said, it'll obey your rules and stuff for all of your narrative information. So let me see. Can I find this damn thing real quick? This is like the last thing I want to show you. There's so much information in here, honestly. It's becoming a bit of a gold mine. It'll probably get shut down. They'll get me with their safety acts or something, you know? Oh dear. All they had to do was put an age gate on it. But it's not my fault, you know, I don't know. Okay, so let me just get it from a DM. So I sent it to a good friend earlier today. So I'm calling it Johnson's Solarian Journey. And it is based on The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. Okay? There better be an easy way for me to look at this. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Let's do it a bit like... Let's do it a bit like this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Boop. No. No. Yes. There we go. It's annoying because it's playing my outro tune right now, and I'm not finished. It's very distracting. So, we've talked about in-painting, and it is seriously powerful. I've been doing so much cool stuff, but now it's time for the introduction of my Solarian journey. So this is like, I've done a lot of work on this. It's not simple, so I'm going to give you the overview, because, you know, if you like, here, look, see all this text? See all this text down the side? It's not short, so I'm not going to waste your time tonight. Johnson's Solarian Journey, a fractal narrative structure system based on orbital mechanics. So what I do is I take Campbell's story wheel and say that is the orbital path of Earth with the sun in the center. So it's the exact same as the hero's journey, in that we follow the path of Earth's orbit. One rotation, that's one book, okay, or one narrative arc, okay? So it's the exact same. Here's the difference. I'm also tracking multiple stories which are running at slower or faster in the same time, which converge with your story. So your Earth, your main character is Earth, and the nations are his thoughts. You know? So he has that simulated and modeled with a fractal allegory. Mars is the location. So if you were to imagine you're the sun and you're looking at Earth, Mars is in the background, right? And it moves slower. So Earth is going to go past, so the location, but it has its own story. It's also doing an orbit, a much longer orbit, but it's still doing an orbit. And then behind Mars is Jupiter. And Jupiter is even bigger and even slower and an even longer orbit. So that would be the world or the universe. So then you can actually have simulation of 3 stories at once, which enriches the entire tapestry of the generation, because we're using orbital mechanics to introduce events like planets lining up, eclipses, interaction of moons, the appearance of retrograde for flashbacks. There's all kinds of opportunities we can use, and then it makes it a natural, organic, fractal-based thing, right? Additionally, the love interest, right? Venus. Venus is the faster orbit, smaller, comes in front. So if you're at the sun and you're looking at Earth, Venus will zip in front every now and then, okay? And that's on a faster loop. It's on a faster loop. So it's going to pop out occasionally and kind of like, oh, suddenly there's this love interest. Suddenly, right? And so that's that. And then there's also an even faster loop, which could be used for other means. You also have the ability to create your own planetary design, your own orbital design. I based it on the solar system because it's the Solarian journey, right? But you could base it on anything you want, really. And there's a whole load of cool things that you can build into this. So anyway, as it says here, I'm just going to give you the top level. So the sun, prime motive force, core theme or central conflict. The Earth, the hero's journey, primary protagonist arc. One complete story cycle is an orbital period, yeah? So we have the whole thing, just like you would expect. Everything's there, but it's divided into months of the year. So there's 12 sections to mine, not 6. But that's just a division of the 6, okay? It's just a natural division, okay? Venus is inner narrative cycles. So, for example, romantic subplots or internal conflicts, close supporting characters, buddy stuff, family members. Okay? Venus transit events. When Venus passes Earth and the Sun from a narrative perspective, these secondary stories momentarily eclipse the main plot, providing crucial character development moments. Because the weakness of AI, it doesn't know how to do character stuff. And so I'm giving it a kick up the arse. That's the plan. Mercury, rapid subplot cycle, episodic, okay, quick character interactions, minor conflicts, comic relief. So you even have, like I say, the comic relief. Mars, local setting development. Now, why would you need to have a slower period of time for developing the background? Well, first, that's how the world is. Your story generally moves quicker than the town's story, which moves quicker than the world's story, right? And they are all equally, it's all fractal based, Here's me, there's the town, there's the larger world, right? So if I want to write a sequel or a trilogy, the big problem right now with a lot of real, traditional writing is that there's no one's going to help you write your trilogy or sequel, and that's why most of them suck. Because they don't make sense, there's bad continuity. You can go online and you can find like YouTube videos where they just criticize for hours of continuity, right? And it's mainly because, they don't really have anyone tracking it all. And I think AI can do it, guys. So as an experiment, this system is designed to have like that long ability. So the orbit of Mars would catch up with Earth after 2 or 3 books. Whereas the orbit of Jupiter might take 6. But what it means is that it makes my life easier when I want to do concurrent narratives with multiple characters in the same universe, and I can dot around everywhere to get, to tell the stories I want to tell in those worlds, right? But the main narrative is kind of aware of everything. Do you know what? This is going to sound crazy. I even put in the ability for you to set the star date. So it doesn't just start with planets in a random spot. It's actually going to, if you give it access to enough thinking power and the right data, it's actually going to use real orbital mechanics. It's not like horse crap. It's you know what I mean? It requires a star date, because otherwise where are the planets at the start of the story? Yeah? So it's actually like way more accurate than I even thought it could be. But anyway, let's keep going. So Mars is the local setting, environmental or cultural arc, the immediate world community, local politics history. Jupiter is the wider world narrative, societal, civilization, major historical movements, generational change. Saturn, even more, 29 years relative to Earth, deep structural changes. So you can have you could do a story based over hundreds of years, and the shift from the movement of Saturn will be able to be simulated and actually make sense. You know what I mean? Obviously, you hook this all in allegorically to your story, but it gives it a kind of clockwork mechanism to trigger all these events off. Outer planets, mythic, cosmic background. 84 years. I doubt you're going to write that long, but if you look at something like Warhammer 40,000, they actually have tens of thousands of years of lore. I don't even think they know what's going on anymore. But a system like this would be able to create something that could keep track of it all if you wanted to. Right? Cycle of ages, deep magical geologic universe changes. Okay, comets. What are comets? News from distant lands, returning characters from the past, revelations that change everything, simulated in the system. Okay, calculate comet timing. It's going to do it with orbital mechanics. Asteroids, random events. Okay, gravitational influence for cross-layer interaction. We have orbital resonance. We have retrograde, as I said before. It's going to basically do revelations about past events, historical secrets being uncovered. So this could be flashbacks, all kinds of things like this. Eclipses and transits. So this is the weaving. When to weave, right? When in the narrative do I have my crossover with character B and C? This is how. It can model them to a planet and then do it like that. So anyway, here's the... I'll just read this out. So phase 1, establish your solar system. You have to define your sun. This is like a handbook on how to make a cool story, just anyway, right? But it's through the lens of this, so then you're prepared to use the system. So define the sun, plan the Earth cycle, design the Mars arc, sketch the Jupiter narrative. So this is actually a dimension higher than my previous world, characters, lore, story structure. This takes care of all of that and offers additional dimensions for planning. So you can inject more of yourself into your story, basically, when using the tools. So yeah, look, see, the Jupiter narrative is a 12-year narrative. See, it's quite simply laid out. Phase 2, inner complexity. So this is the bit that a lot of people miss. A lot of my books don't have a love interest. Romeo and Juliet is the first one, and it hit me hard. I was like, oh crap, this is the first book I've written which has a love arc in it. And it, obviously I didn't write it, Shakespeare did. But you see my point. I had to come to a Shakespeare project to be like, oh yeah, I should probably do that. So I'm learning as I'm doing this project, you know. It's like part of expanding my skill set too. It's just the consideration. If you take the consideration, you'll make a more complex and considered story. So anyway, inner complexity. So Venus arcs, Mercury elements, and eclipse events. I know this is starting to sound a little bit like some kind of alchemy, but it is. So phase 3, calculate cosmic influences, outer planet backgrounds, comet schedule, resonance points. Now obviously, I'm going to make an agent that's going to help you with all this, obviously. But yeah, so track orbital mechanics, create a calendar or timeline showing where the planets are. So this is what he's going to do. He'll do that. You don't do that. He'll do that. Look, example, fantasy village story. The sun is the balance between tradition and progress. The earth is a young blacksmith's journey from apprentice to master. Venus is his romance with a traveling merchant's daughter. Mercury is daily interactions with quirky village characters. Mars, villagers struggle with encroaching wilderness monsters. Jupiter, kingdom's slow transition from feudalism to democracy. Saturn, ancient magical traditions versus a new divine religion. Uranus, prophetic cycle about the return of dragons. Comet, news of distant war affecting trade routes. Okay. And then the fractalization as well, involving all the moons. I won't bore you with that. This is going to go up online soon anyway, so you can read it at your leisure. But I think that this is going to add a new dimension when used with narrative Splatoon, or Splatoon in version 3.0, which is on its way. So that's another thing I've been working on the last week or two when I've been away on holiday. I've just been like chilling with the laptop, enjoying the hot weather, and going over a bunch of the most important things that we have built in this community. So, like I said, I think that this is going to offer unparalleled improvement over the previous, and with the addition of Fernicar's semantic echo built in. Like I said, the Uno tool combined with the semantic echo tool combined with, I said spittoon dragon. If I was talking about spoons, it would be in a Honda. Anyway. But yeah, so like I said, this is a really cool system. We're going to be taking a look at it more. Also, my technical book, which is based on a collection of essays. You can read them all for free on the Substack. It's recommended as a book introducing advanced AI concepts. And I'm releasing every page of the book for free on the Substack. So you can read it there for nothing, or you can buy it as a paperback or a hardback because it's being added to my catalog. Because basically, the book is a collection of everything: image, text, audio, video. I put it all in there, and it's going to be my new time capsule. A lot of the stuff I put out is educational materials. So trademark scuffed epoch all the way. But essentially, it's going to break down everything about UNet, LoRa, GGUF, vibe coding, context engineering. What is a VAE? Do you know what I mean? So it's going to break all of that down into an accessible group of essays. So like, for example, let's take a look at the one that came out today. This is the one on LoRa. Imagine, if you will, you're a master tailor who spent months crafting the perfect suit. Each stitch precisely placed, every measurement collected. Why can't I read? Give me a minute. Every measurement calculated to perfection. Now, a client arrives requesting a simple modification. Perhaps the jacket should be slightly more formal, or the trousers need a different cut for a specific occasion. Do you tear apart the entire garment and start from scratch? Do you create an entirely new suit from raw fabric? Of course not. You make a careful alteration, a targeted adjustment that preserves the fundamental craftsmanship by achieving the desired change. This precise insight has revolutionized the world of artificial intelligence through a sophisticated computational approach known as low-rank adaptation. We've done loads of it. I've trained thousands of them. They're great. They are available for text, video, image. They're available for everything. So, what the hell is it? And that's what this does. This is a sort of coffee shop. This is a kind of coffee table technical book, which doesn't assume that you're an idiot, but at the same time isn't like denying you the real information. So it's going to explain exactly what the hell that is, and you'll understand it. That's what I've tried to do. Okay, I've tried to make it so that the information's there, but it's not trying to bamboozle you with a bunch of jargon. Yeah, there will be terminology in there, but I tried to put it in a way that's, like I say, educational and doesn't underestimate the reader, while at the same time is kind of being, more informal about it, shall we say. But as I say, these essays are being released from now until August 1st every day. Just go back to my mushroomfleet.substack.com and you will find the next one up. And very soon I'll be announcing the book release. I think they're going to be like $15 or $20 depending on if you get the paperback or the hardback. I think there's about 132 pages. It's not small. There's like 9 essays all slapped together. But I wanted to do a non-fiction project. And as it's something I teach, I thought this is what I should be doing, right? I should really be doing this more. So you'll probably expect to see more technical handbooks coming from yours truly in the future. However, we've got a whole lot of stories to publish, guys. I'm not being funny, but I might be sitting on 3 trilogies and 6 books. You can purchase them. I do appreciate the support, Dom. Like I said, I'll be buying a copy myself for my own private collection. Because, like I said, I do that. But yeah, I'd be honored. Be honored to have my book on your shelf, and that goes to everyone. Because the thing is, I think what's going to happen is we're going to look back on this period of time, and having a book like that to look back on is going to be something else. Because it's kind of like a piece of history. The stuff which I've documented in there, it's all new stuff. A lot of people still don't know a lot of what's in these essays. And I think that if you didn't know, like, it's the sort of thing I'd buy for my father if I wanted to, like, give him something to just flick through, like, this is like AI, you know. I hope it's going to be an accessible format, and I hope to do a lot more of them. Basically, what I'm doing, guys, because you guys are watching me live right now today, and this stream might not be here in 10 years, but the books will be. And I'm going to be releasing all of these essays for free on the Substack. So often when you're reading articles, they will not be serious. They will be experiments. If you read a lot of the posts on my Substack, it is literally just like me testing some crazy agent to write whatever you're reading, okay? So I've been very upfront about that. But from here on out, there's going to be a lot more chapters. So I'm releasing samples of the fiction, and then also these essays. So when you see these technical essays, you can expect them to show up in a book at some point. But like I said, I always want to give an option to people that don't have the money to get into this, because that's how I got into it. And I think it's important to build ladders so that people can come up and actually be, you know, in the AI space. But I think everybody's got it in them. It's just a question of having an idea and some intent, you know. That's all. I'm going to do this. That's all it needs. It's just a choice. Dominic says, oh wait, yeah, be sure to release Clone Drift Voice audiobook. The cloned audiobook version. Hey, maybe we'll make it. Maybe we'll make it right here on the live show. Alright, okay, so let's see, we've covered everything. We've looked at everything. And this is still doing something. I feel like he's like ignoring my batch here. Is that the finish? I bet it's not. It looks good though. We'll let him continue cooking, because he's clearly cooking something up there. Alright, cool. See you all tomorrow, guys. 8 p.m.